Okay, ladies, welcome. Today we're going to be talking about how to get rid of obsessive thoughts about your affair partner, and specifically around your affair partner in the workplace, if he is your coworker, your boss, and how to stop continuously being attached to this person when the relationship has ended, why you can't get over him. And if you are in close proximity with your affair partner and have ended it, but can't get over him, and he is constantly just renting so much room in your mind and having so much power over your emotions, then I offer you this one perspective that might help you. And that is, where is the relationship still being fed? Where is your affair partner still feeding you? Where are you still feeding the relationship? Him. And why I talk around feeding it is because often I see when working with clients is that the intimacy has stopped, but the bid for connection hasn't. And some examples of how that looks would be you're in the workplace and he comes over with your favorite coffee and is like, here you go, I know you like it. And it's that right there is a act of affection that might not necessarily happen in a platonic work dynamic. It can absolutely happen. What I want you to determine is, where is this energy leaky, and where is he stepping over the line, or where am I stepping over the line in feeding it? And you ultimately have your own intuition is going to determine where the line is, where the line begins and ends, and where he is feeding it and where he is not. For example, I had a client that I hopped off the call with now, and he came into the workplace, into her office, and was like, how do I look? I'm going out tonight. How's my attire? Now, there's multiple platonic relationships that you can have with the opposite sex where they're asking, how do they look? Which is totally okay. But there could be a line there where that is crossing, where it's feeding your connection, that doesn't feel good for you, and is that a hook. It's keeping you tied into the connection with him. And another example with this client that I've just spoken to is him reaching out, sending an email and saying, look, where I'm going out for drinks tonight, but she's not invited. And this is, again, personal life stuff that is being brought into this work relationship. It's not necessary. If you have had a previous intimate connection with this person and you're ultimately wanting to stop that emotional connection, then where are some of these actions keeping the connection alive? Another example, sending text messages of them winding down at the end of the day. Someone that is your coworker but not a romantic partner doesn't send these text messages on them winding down for the day. This is to be shared with their intimate partner, not you. And ultimately, you get to choose what is stepping over the line for you or not. But when these bids for connection are going on, where the relationship is being fed, not necessarily in a physical way, but an emotional connection way, where it doesn't feel good for you, like him sending you locations of where he's going out, or him winding down, or asking you how he looks, and these things, it's keeping you, or even like, I would like to take you out for to celebrate something that you're going through. Is this something that would happen in a workplace dynamic? And if it's not, then it's feeding your relationship with him, even though it's not a physical on a physical level anymore. So once you notice where it is being fed, then we have the opportunity to set boundaries around that. when you set boundaries around that, you are protecting your emotional space of not stepping into the emotional connection like you did in the past. And so if he sends you a photo winding down at the end of the day, either one, don't ask him for more information or to ask him how he's feeling or to connect and continue feeding that, but instead either don't respond, like it, say that's beautiful without going into it any deeper, but don't feed it. Stop feeding the connection, and also when he's feeding it, ask him to not feed it in that way, because it's feeling like he's leading you on in a way that doesn't feel like a work relationship and feels like something more, and you're wanting to create a clear boundary there on this is a work dynamic now and no longer something more than that. It's a protection against yourself. What was the other thing I was going to say? One of the things that we get really scared about when setting these boundaries is, as soon as I start setting boundaries and essentially say, hey, I don't want your personal life sent via text, like absolutely share them on your social media and stuff like that, but I don't need direct messages around your personal lifestyle when we're no longer in this romantic connection. When we set those boundaries, we fear the loss of love that we get from them. And often we fear that the significance and the validation and everything they get from you, from sending it to you, that when you stop feeding that they will just move on to someone else. And that fear is very relevant, and that fear is very real, and that fear is often likely going to happen, unfortunately. And so you might find that when you stop being a source of fuel to him, that he will go seek that fuel somewhere else. And that can feel like the ultimate betrayal, like you've been completely discarded. And trust the journey, that if this person is not providing all that you need in a relationship and is not giving all of that, then these boundaries need to be set on, stop giving me crumbs without the whole loaf. Stop giving me these promises without following through. It's time to put boundaries around how you deserve to be respected in a work relationship by someone, so that they're not playing games with you and keeping you hooked without it going anywhere. This is where we start to go crazy and feel crazy. So if you're feeling crazy and can't get over your affair partner, then ask yourself, where is he feeding it? When you start to see where is he feeding it, set some boundaries and ask him not to feed it in that way, because it just feels like it drags you in. And he might say, hey, I'm not meaning to lead you on. And his experience of his actions is his experience, but you directly communicating, it feels like that to me. It feels like you're feeding the relationship when I'm ultimately not wanting to feed it anymore. Can you please not send me personal lifestyle things when this is a workplace dynamic? State that. You may lose his love and or his attention, more so, and affection, or his desire to constantly reach out and connect with you might change to someone else, and it's scary. But no, you're worth so much more than being disrespected and fed crumbs, when ultimately you deserve the whole loaf, the whole shebangle, and the respect that everyone, absolutely everyone, deserves. So I leave you with that. I hope that helps. Where is he feeding it, and where are you also feeding the connection, even if it's not on a physical level anymore? Bye for now.